What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Tony's Corner, Great Girth segment. I am your host, Tony, and today we're going back to 2005, and we're going to be looking at this awesome gem called House of Wax. That is right, folks. We're talking about the Paris Hilton starring, there's Alicia Cuthbert or Eliza Cuthbert. I can't remember how to say her damn name. She's in this. Chad Michael Murray's in this for you ladies out there. This flick is way better than you might remember, dude. Like, why revisit it, right? Well, it's spooky season, and this movie's got it all, dude. This is the perfect time to revisit it, really. It's got the creepy small town, the killer premise, dude, that cast that just screams like mid 2000s. Bro, we're gonna break down why this film deserves more love, from like its wild practical effects to its unapologetic camp feel. All right, but let's set the stage. So, what is House of Wax? Well, House of Wax dropped in 2005. And this is actually a remake, believe it or not, of various films, but primarily somewhat based on the Vincent Price classic. Honestly, it borrows the whole like wax museum idea, and instead it's more of a loose reimagining with a modern slasher twist. So a lot of people love to say this is not a remake, it's a remake of this and that. It's a remake of various different films, specifically Mystery of the House of Wax, the Vincent Price House of Wax. There's, like I mentioned earlier, dude, this is just a remake of various House of Waxes. There we go. Some people say it's not because it's got the slasher twist. It's an entirely different thing. But for that reason, it is technically a remake. Now, the story of it follows a group of college friends. You got Carly, Nick, Wade, Paige, Blake, and Dalton, who get stranded in a creepy town called Ambrose. After their car breaks down, of course, you got that trope in there. They stumble into a wax museum let's just say it's too lifelike. The cast in this is a 2000s like time capsule, dude. You got the girl next door as Carly, you know who I'm talking about. You got Chad Michael Murray as her bad boy gimmicky brother. It works, sort of. You got Jared Padalecki, I hope I'm saying his name right, as Wade. Supernatural fans. Of course, you got Paris Hilton as Paige. I know, dude, Paris Hilton in a horror movie. Like, dude, trust me, even for that time, that was the point, though, especially when you were 13 years old, like me. At that time, dude, I knew what they were doing. We all knew it. This film has got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is dumb. But, given the movies that make the cut, it checks out, right? I'm here to tell you, like most movies from that time, a little time gives it a chance to develop. A cult following, if you will. And dude, it really has. I love this movie, and I always have. It is awesome to finally see like this movie get some love. But why does it get that bad rap? Why does this movie have such a bad rap? I really think it is because it came out during that mid 2000s horror remake boom that everyone loves to bitch about, dude. We're talking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Amityville Horror, Black Christmas, The Fog, and some folks dismissed it as just another cash grab like these. But House of Wax has what we really needed, and it really was like a return to form. Let's talk about what makes it shine. First off, the premise is genius, dude. A wax museum where the figures are actual people coated in wax. That's scary as shit, dude. As a kid, this was traumatizing to watch. The idea of a town frozen in time with everything, buildings, people, even the vibe, covered in this like waxy fill, dude. It's so unnerving and it's so creepy. But the film leans hard into that creepy small town trope where everyone knows something is off, but you're too curious to fucking leave. Ambrose feels like a place where you drive through and never stop. And the movie nails that like isolated, dread-filled atmosphere. But the production design is top tier for that reason, dude. The wax museum itself is a character. Every corner is dripping with detail. From the melting figures to that dusty ass abandoned fill, it's like walking into a haunted house attraction, really. But the scares are real. And the way the film builds that tension with those like slow reveals of like the town's initial secrets, dude, it really is perfection. Now let's talk about the cast. Like I said, you got girl next door. She's fantastic as Carly. I know that's not her real name, but dude, she's resourceful and she carries that like final girl energy in the cliche but perfect way. Just in my opinion. But she is a final girl in this, and I don't know her very much other than as the girl next door until this movie came about. So there you go. Like I said, she does nail that energy though. And then you got the brother character, Chad Michael Murray. His character, Nick, is like that perfect bad boy anti-hero. Jared Padalecki's Wade is that lovable goofball who, like, sadly gets the short end of the stick. Sorry, Supernatural fans. No spoilers yet. And then you got Paris Hilton, right? Look, she's not really a character, but she's there to draw in the attention. and she's perfect for the role. You know, it's campy, yes, and she leans into it. That iconic death scene, you know what I'm talking about. We'll get there. The chemistry among the group, though, it feels authentic. They bicker, they joke, they make dumb decisions like real college kids would. It's not Shakespeare in any way, but it is relatable. And you're rooting for them, even when they're splitting up like a bunch of idiots in a horror movie as they normally do. But the real star of House of Wax is the practical effects. This movie goes hard on the gore and body horror. Well, I mean, for that. And it's all done with practical makeup and prosthetics. It's not cheap CGI. The wax coating process, it's gruesome. There's a scene actually where a character gets waxed alive, dude, and it's equal parts horrifying and mesmerizing. It's gross. The makeup team, they deserve all the awards for making it look so visceral and so it just stays there. You know what I mean? And then the kills are super creative too. I mean, without spoiling too much, there is a certain spear scene that will always be one of the first scenes that pops into my head when I'm thinking about this movie. And the final act in the melting wax house is pure chaos in the best way, dude. The fire, the melting figures, the sheer panic, it's a horror fan's literal dream, dude. Plus, the pacing keeps you hooked. It is never slow, just in my opinion. It never does anything other than build dread, and then it hits you with that nonstop thrill, especially in the last 30 minutes. But let's take a break from the analytics of this and have some fun. House of Wax is peak 2000s, right? So let's open the Tony's Corner time capsule. Picture this. It's 2005. You're rocking them low-rise jeans. You got your flip phone. It's got that bedazzled case on it, and Simple Plan is blasting on your iPod Mini. The soundtrack for this movie is absolutely of its time, dude. Deftones, My Chemical Romance, Disturbed. It's like a Hot Topic playlist came to life. Dude, I can already see my childhood. But let's get a little deeper. House of Wax isn't just a slasher. It's got some sneaky ass themes, as these movies always do. The whole Wax Museum concept is a metaphor for being trapped, right? The town of Ambrose is stuck in time, preserved like a museum exhibit, and the villains are obsessed with keeping things perfect. It's your typical, creepy commentary on fear of control and obsession. Especially when you really think about the brothers running the show, Bo and Vincent. If it's fitting, right? Vincent is the artist of the duo, and especially he's fascinating. He's disfigured, he's mute, but in a way he pours his soul into these wax figures. There's like a tragic edge to him. Like, you don't really feel bad for him, but like he's trying to create beauty in a twisted way. That's what you see. It's not super in your face, but it adds depth to what could have been a generic slasher villain. Thank God we didn't get that. Plus, the sibling dynamic between Carly and Nick, it mirrors Bo and Vincent's. It's like the movie saying, family can pull you together, or it can tear you apart if you are not careful. Now, as we wrap up, let's talk legacy. House of Wax might not be on everyone's top 10 horror list, but it's a cult classic for a reason. It's got heart, it's got style, it's got that beautiful 2000s energy that hits you right in the nostalgia. The practical effects, they do hold up. The cast is having a blast, and the final act is pure chaos in the best way. If you haven't seen it in a while, dude, fire it up on streaming. I know it's somewhere. It's probably on like HBO Max, last I checked anyway. Or do it the Tony's Corner way and grab that old DVD or Blu-ray from your shelf. Why does this movie matter so much? It's a reminder that horror doesn't have to be high art to be awesome. Sometimes you just need a creepy premise from, hey, diehard fans, a game cast, and a whole lot of love for the genre to make something special. So here's my pitch. Give House of Wax another shot. It's not perfect. It's a damn good time, dude. And it deserves to be in your horror movie vault. Folks, I can proudly say that House of Wax is definitely worth seeing on streaming. Personally, I think you should own it though. Own a copy of it, you'll understand. Hell, I'd argue it's one of the last of its kind to have that authentic slasher feel. But thanks for hanging out with me on Tony's Corner, a Great Girth segment. Next week, we're tackling another underrated gem. Tweet me your guesses with hashtag Tony's Corner. I'm just kidding. We don't do that here. We don't do any of that stuff, obviously. However, I do want to take this time to say thank you for joining me. Please be sure, I hate asking for stuff, but please be sure to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. House of Wax, though, man. God, who hasn't seen this movie, dude? But anyway, remember, folks, to always stay rad.